over by the ear. Good, and lift up. And again, over by the ear. And lift up. Let's just do 2 more. So nice and tall, soft with the elbow as you come over by the ear. And lift up. Engage with the core as you lift and over by the ear. And lift up. Okay, so let's go over to the right, soften through the elbow, over by the ear. Now turn your chest down and forwards. Reach your left arm on the diagonal and reach behind you with your right arm if you can. And circle those arms up and to the side. Let's try to the left. Hand down, soften the elbow. Let's come over by the ear. Good, now turn your chest down towards your leg, reach out on the diagonal, take that left hand, reach behind you, and then circle the arms all the way up. Good, 2 more. Over to the right, soften the elbow, come over by the ear first, stretching into those obliques. Turn your chest down, reach away on the diagonal, keep your sit bones on the floor, take your right arm and reach away from you behind. And circle those arms up. And last one. Down to the left, soften through the elbow. Let's come over by the ear first. Turn your chest towards the legs or the floor. The legs can be long as well. Reach behind you with that left hand. Good. And circle all the way up. And then relax those arms down. Good, well done. Okay, bring your legs either up or out. Take your feet together with your knees wide, but don't go too close. Comfortably close to your body with your knees nice and wide. Good, okay. So let's take those fingers behind the body, fingertips on the floor. We're going to do a bit of extension and flexion through the spine. So shoulders back and lift the chest and lift the chin. And then come back to center. Then round the shoulders, sternum in, tuck the chin. And then roll back up to center. Do that again. Pull the shoulders back, push the chest forwards and lift the chin. And center. And then rounding through the chest, bringing those shoulders up by the ears. I don't say that very often. And then back to center. Good, now bring your hands up by your head. Hands behind, press the head into the hands. Same thing, lift the chest. Imagine you're lifting your rib cage up to the ceiling and release. Feel the hip flexors working as you do that. Now round your spine. Come onto the back of the pelvis as you roll backwards, elbows in. Now roll all the way up and grow tall, open the elbows. So lift the chest. Lifting the rib cage and center. Good. And then tuck and roll, bring the elbows in, pull under, and then roll back up. Good. Press the head into the hands. One more. Lift the ribs up, lift the chin slightly, and center. And then roll back. So you can roll onto the back of the pelvis a little bit if you want to. Roll into the sternum with the elbows in. And then roll all the way back up. Good, nice and tall for me. Take a breath in. Breathing out, take your right elbow down towards your left knee. Breathing in and coming all the way up. Bring your left elbow down towards your right knee. Breathing in and coming all the way up. And again, breathing out as we go down. Breathing in as we come up tall. And again, breathing out as we go down. Breathing in as we go tall. Now slide those legs out in front of you for me. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, tuck your tailbone under, roll yourself onto the back of the pelvis, bring the elbows forwards. Now rolling up nice and tall, pressing the chest forwards and leaning slightly forwards with straight legs. Then come all the way up to center. You stay there. I'm going to turn onto my side so you get a better view. Take a breath in. Breathing out, tuck the tailbone, roll into your sternum and bring the elbows forwards. Rolling all the way up, growing nice and tall for me. And then keeping that length in the spine, gently coming forwards with a straight spine. And then gently coming up. One more, breath in. Breathing out and tuck and roll into the spine, into the sternum, elbows come forwards. Rolling all the way up, coming tall through the spine. Keeping that length in the spine, pivoting from the hips, trying not to collapse. And coming all the way up, stretching up to the ceiling with those hands. Take a breath in. Breathing out, turn to the right as far as you can go, pressing those hands up. Breathing into center. Breathing out, rotating to the left as far as you can go. Breathing into center. One more. Each side, breathe out to the right. Careful those feet don't move. Breathing into center. Breathe out to the left. And breathing into center. Relax those arms all the way down and have a little shimmy with those legs. Well done, lovely. Okay, take those feet the width of your mat. So if you were facing me, now turn yourself round and let's have your feet the width of your mat. Arms come up nice and tall in front of you, shoulder blades into your back for me. Take a breath in. Breathing out, tuck your tailbone under and roll onto the back of the pelvis. Good. Breathing in, right arm up. Breathing out, rotate your chest to the right. Breathing in, coming all the way down. Breathing out, rolling all the way up nice and tall. Have you got that? Breath in. Breathing out, tuck your tailbone and roll yourself back. So belly button to spine for me. Breathing in, left arm up. Breathing out, rotate the chest. Push that hand forwards. Breathing in as we come back. Arm comes down, breathing out, roll and come all the way up. Let's try that again. Breathing in. Breathing out, tuck and rolling down. Surrounding that spine for me. Breathing in, right arm up. Breathing out through the chest. Breathing in, coming back down. Breathing out, rolling up, nice and tall. Last one, breathe in. Breathing out, tuck and rolling down. Breathing in, left arm up. Breathing out, rotate, stretch the opposite arm forwards. Coming all the way back to center. And roll all the way back up. Flex your feet, reach forwards for me. Towards your toes. Have a nice little stretch here. That's lovely. Good. And then gently uncurl. So let's come back to face me. We're going to come into a right-sided mermaid. So this is where your right leg is in front of you and your left leg is behind you. Now, if you can't get into that position, you can have that leg forwards if that knee is dodgy. If you can't, if this knee is dodgy, this leg can be out to the side. If you can't do any of them, you can just have your legs out here, okay? If you can get into full mermaid, that would be great. Right leg forwards, left leg behind you, and nice and central through your pelvis, or as central as you can be, okay? Arms coming up, take a breath in. Breathing out, now tuck your tailbone as if you're going to do a roll back. Fall into your sternum, feel that stretch in that left leg. Good, breathing in, coming all the way up, stretch to the ceiling. Breathing out, both hands come down towards your left back foot. Breathing in, coming all the way up. Breathing out, rolling back and tuck your tailbone. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out and circle towards that back foot. And again, breathing in, coming up. Breathing out, tuck the tailbone, roll for the spine. Don't let the knees peel off the floor. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out and to that back foot. And one more for me. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out, drop the arms shoulder height and tuck that tailbone under. Breathing in, coming up. Breathing out and to that back foot. Good, coming all the way up and over and arms out to the side. Good, take a breath in. To the right, breathing out, soften the elbow and stretch over. Breathing in, coming all the way up, rotate to the left for 3. 1, 2, 3 and center. Breathe in. And again, down we go. Now this is fine for your left buttock to come off a little bit here. Coming all the way up through the core, grow tall for me. Rotate to the left. 1, 2 and 3. 2 more. Let's go down, soften the elbow and stretch over. And use your core as we float up. Try to get both sit bones on the floor here if you can. Rotate 1, 2, 3 and last 1. Down we go. To the right, soften the elbow and stretch over. And then coming all the way up. Rotate, pulse. 1, 2, 3 and rest. Unravel those legs for me. Good, have a little bit of a shimmy. Good. We'll do the other side of that mermaid in just a second. So just bring those feet together again for me with knees wide, but again, not all the way up here. A comfortable distance from your body. Let's take your right arm forwards and your left arm up into the air, okay? So we're going to take this right arm, the middle of the left shin, and we're going to lean forwards. Take a breath in. Breathing out, middle of the shin, and lean forwards. Push. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. So you're stretching your arms in both directions, one diagonally across the body and one slightly above the head. And again, come diagonally across the body and push. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. And again, push, 2, 3, and then come up. Let's switch. Good. Turn to the right side. Push. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. So you kind of look under your armpit as you do that. Push. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. Let's switch. And then over. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. Switch. Got it? And 1, 2, 3, and then come up. Switch. 2 more. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. Switch. Last one. Push. 1, 2, 3, and then come up. Relax the arms down. Have a roll through those shoulders. Lovely. Slide the legs a bit closer to the body for me. Hold those feet, elbows out, round the spine and tuck the chin. Gently press the knees away from you. And breathe. Good. Lovely, and then gently uncurl. Okay, so left-sided mermaid now. So you want your left leg in front of you, your right leg behind you. You can have your front leg extended. You can have your back leg out on the diagonal if you need to, or both legs out if your knees aren't too keen, okay? We are aiming to get both of your buttocks on the floor, but if some of you are a little bit lifted, we just need to stretch into your hips a little bit more, okay? All right, arms come up in front of you. Are you ready? Pull your tailbone underneath you. You're pulling your pelvis round and forwards and rolling back, stretching into your upper back. Coming all the way up, reach up into the air and circle down towards your right foot. Circle up and over, and then tuck and roll back. With that stretch in that right leg, and then roll up and down towards your back foot. Good, up and over. And then tuck, pulling underneath you. Rolling up, stretch and circle, and one more, up and over. Tuck your tailbone, pull it underneath you, round through that spine, all the way up and over, and then come all the way back, arms out. Take a breath into the left, breathing out, hand down, and stretch over. You'll find your right sit bone will lift off, that's absolutely fine. And then coming all the way back up and trying to sit that sit bone. Now round we go for 3 to the right. 1, 2, 3, and center. And again down to the left. Soften the elbows, stretch over. Use your core as you come up and grow tall. And rotate to the right. 1, 2, 3, and center. 2 more. Let's come down, elbow down and over. Stretch into that waist. Use your core as you come up, not your back. Try and get those sit bones on the floor. And 1, 2, 3, and center. Last one. Down we go. Elbows soft. And stretch over. Good, engage as we come up and grow tall. And 1, 2, 3, and center. Relax those arms. Let's unravel those legs. Bring those legs forward. Have a little bit of a shimmy through those legs and a stretch out towards those toes. Good stuff, well done. Okay, let's swing our legs back round on our mats for me. And we're going to start with our feet and knees hip width apart. We're going to do some nice simple reverse curls, but we're going to be opening our arms. Let's just start with a simple reverse curl. So arm here, nice tall spine, take a breath in. Tuck your tailbone, breathe out and roll down onto the back of your pelvis. You can go a bit lower if you want to, make sure you've got hold of that core, and then rolling all the way up and coming nice and tall. And again, breathing out, tuck, tuck, tuck. Belly button to spine, shoulders stay into your back, and then rolling all the way up. Okay, let's add an arm opening. So as we tuck, the arms come out to the side. This will make it a little bit harder for you. And then rolling all the way up, arms come in, grow tall. Keep your feet on the floor. And tuck, arms come out as we roll down. And rolling up. Nice and tall. And again, tuck, arms come out as we roll down. And rolling up, my feet need to go off. Nice and tall. Okay, roll down to a point that you can hold. Roll, palms facing down for me. Lift the right knee, take both arms to the right, and then come back to center. Lift the left knee up to the left and center. Now, lift the whole of the leg. Don't just flick the foot. Drive the knee up and twist and center. Drive the knee up and twist and center. Could hold that core. Keep your tailbone tucked under. Twist and center. And again, twist and center. Roll up for me, tall, arms underneath, and hug your legs. Last couple of breaths here. Good. Lovely. And then relax. So let's roll down for me onto your back. So safely come down onto your mat. If you need a little bit of support underneath your head, that's absolutely fine. So a cushion or a folded towel is absolutely fine. And I want your feet comfortably close to your bottom. If you go too close here, in a bridge, you put a bit too much stress in the knees. If you go too far away, you put a bit too much stress on the hamstrings, okay? So if you do need to adjust your feet, that's fine. Hip width apart, arms to the side of your body. So let's just do a couple of bridges to warm up, and then we'll add our variations. So when you're ready, tuck your tailbone towards the ceiling, breathe in. And as you breathe out, peel your spine off. Press your feet into the floor and roll up through your spine, one vertebra at a time. Stretch out through those knees, open the chest, keep the neck relaxed, take a breath. And then from the top of the spine, breathing out, gently rolling down, one vertebra at a time, pulling your tailbone round and underneath you. Trying to get that lower back to roll in if you can, and then release the pelvis to neutral. Let's do one more. Tuck your tailbone, breathe in, and roll yourself up into your bridge. Push those feet into the floor, lengthen out through the knees, open that chest, breathe in. And then breathe out, start to roll down, and just continue to breathe. Just really feel what's happening to your spine. Try and really get into that lower back. And then release. Okay, so let's roll up to a point that you feel you can hold. Tuck your tailbone, breathe in. Breathe out and roll up. So I want to go up into a full extension. But equally, we do need to have your bottom off the floor. Okay, so right leg, breathe in. Take that foot off, breathe out, come into tabletop. Knee out to the side and just tap your heel on your left knee. Breathe in and drop your hips, float above the floor. Breathe out, push up. Breathe in, drop the hips, don't touch the floor. Breathe out, push up. Breathing in. Breathing out and push up. Good, breathing in. Breathing out and push up. Two more, breathing in. Breathing out and push up. Pull that left hamstring, breathing in. Breathing out and push up. Hold, take that leg back into tabletop. Bring the foot down to the floor, get the hips equal, breathe in. Breathe out and roll down through your spine. One vertebra at a time. Tuck your tailbone under. Lovely, and rest. Good, left leg that you use, take it in the air straight, give that a little stretching towards you. You probably felt that here on the back of your hamstring and into your left glute. Good, and then bring that down. Okay, let's do the same thing on the other side. So, get yourself nice and ready, arms by your side. Tuck your tailbone, breathe in, breathing out and roll up to a point that you feel that you can hold. As I say, I do want your bottom to be off the floor. Left foot, breathe in, breathing out and picking up to tabletop. Bring the heel to rest on the knee, just only lightly though. Breathing in, drop the hips down. Breathing out and push up. Breathing in, drop the hips down. Keep the hips square. Breathing in and push up. Good again, breathing in, dropping down. Breathing out and push up. Two more, breathing in, dropping down. Breathing out and push up. Last one, breathing in, dropping down. Breathing out and push up, hold. Take the leg into tabletop. Place the foot down to the floor, get the hip lift equal, breathe in. And then breathe out and roll down through your spine. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Roll your pelvis into neutral and rest. Good. Take your right leg in the air long, give it a little stretching towards you for me. Lovely. Good. Then fold that knee into your chest. Bring the other knee up and have a nice hug with both knees into your chest. Good, hold that hug for me, that's great. Lovely. Okay, let's bring our feet to the floor. So I want your feet together and I want your knees together. And we're going to take our hands behind the head with our elbows nice and wide. So we're going to do a little bit of a stretch exercise here. So taking both knees to the left and letting your right foot come off so it stacks on top of your left foot. Turn your head and I want you to turn your body so your left elbow is coming down towards your knees. And then lift your knees to center and bring your body back. We do the same side. So knees to the left, float the head, and then turn the body to the left, staying parallel to the floor, But reach that right elbow away and engage the core as we come up. And again, knees to the left, stack the right foot, float the head, and bring that body round to the left. And engage that core as we come up. Now get your body back central for me before we do the other side, because you may have shifted a little bit. So, knees go to the right, stacking left foot on right knee, float the head, and let's come round to the right. And then all the way back, engaging through that core. And again, knees to the right, float the head. Upper body round to the right. Stretch the left elbow away on the diagonal so you get that stretch in your chest. Push the knees over a bit more if you can. And then come all the way back to centre. And again, float the head, knees to the right, body to the left. Stretch that left elbow away. Feels good, stretch. And back to centre. Feels so good, I think we should do one more. Knees to the right, stack left foot, float the head, bring that right elbow round, stretch that left elbow away for me. And then bring everything back to centre. Lovely, keep the hands behind the head, bring one leg into tabletop, and then the other leg into tabletop. And we're going to come into frog's legs. So knees are going to go wide, toes are together, okay? So take a breath in. As you breathe out, ribs down, curl the head off and support the head. Bring the knees in and curl the right elbow to left knee and then come back parallel. Left elbow to right knee and come back parallel. That's important. Right elbow to left knee and then shins parallel, knees over hips. Left elbow to right knee and parallel. As we come in, push the knees wide and parallel. Last one, knees in wide and parallel. Good, take those hands, knees in, pull them in towards the shoulders. Hug those knees in nice and tight for me. Lovely. And then bring those knees together and extend the legs up into the air. Hands come onto the floor. So we're going to do 4 switches of the legs at the lower leg and 4 taps with the ankles. We're going to do them straight first. So hands down, engage the core. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3, 4. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3, 4. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3, 4. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3. 2 more. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3. Last one. 3, 4 and heels 2, 3 and rest. Arms out. Over onto your right hip. Left shoulder on the floor. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3, 4. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3. Good. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3. Last one. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4 and heels 2, 3 and rest. Pull up to centre. We have a little rest. And then we'll do the left side. Extend, arms out, over onto your left hip, but only so that you can keep this right shoulder blade on the floor. If you go too far, then your oblique muscles here won't be able to hold you correctly, okay? All right, when you're ready, and switch 1, 2, 3, 4, and heels, 2, 3. Good, switch 1, 2, 3, 4, and heels, 2, 3, 4. Switch 1, 2, 3, 4, and heels, 2, 3. Last one, switch 1, 2, 3, 4, and heels, 2, 3, and rest. Pull up to centre and hug those knees in. Lovely. Okay. Bring those feet down for me. Give those legs a bit of a shake. Turn onto your side and gently bring yourself back into a sitting position. Okay, so let's come on to our right side. Oh, keep my water. Let's come on to our right side facing me. We're going to come down first onto your elbow. Knees are going to be soft, feet in line with your bottom, and elbow underneath your shoulder. So we're going to do a thread the needle exercise, but we're going to kiss our hips to the floor in between. So we bring our hips down and we just touch the floor in between. So watch this right shoulder here. We don't want it to collapse. We need to keep the ribs up and keep space here. And I know it's hard on the shoulder, but this is why we're doing it. Keep space here. Okay, so arm in the air. Lift the hips off for me and stretch up. Are we ready? Top hand coming through. Thread the needle, look over the shoulder. Coming all the way up, stretch to the ceiling, hold. Now kiss the hips down and push the hips up. And again, thread the needle. Look over the shoulder. All the way up, nice and long for me. Kiss the hips down and push the hips up. And again, thread the needle, look over the shoulder. And all the way up to the ceiling, stretch up. Kiss the hips down and push up. Last one. All the way round, over the shoulder. All the way up and stretch to the ceiling. Kiss the hips down, push the hips up. Can we extend that top leg? Can we pulse it? Up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and again, push 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last set, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rest. Good, split the legs, gently come up. Let's have a little stretch. So bring that right arm round. And let's have a little stretch. Lovely. Okay, so let's come all the way down now so that we give our shoulder a little bit of a rest. So all the way down. So bring your legs in line with your spine, with your hips nicely stacked, one on top of the other. Now, to begin with, you can have your hand here in front of you. This gives you a bit of extra stability. Where I'd like you to be is hand behind the head with the elbow pointing to the ceiling. So obviously this is a little bit more unstable. So you're having to work your core a little bit deeper. So start here, but with each exercise, we're going to try and come to here if we can, okay? So hand in front of you for me. Okay, and we are going to start with a flex forwards and point back. So in line with your hip, flex the foot, come forward, point back behind you. Flex forwards, point back. And again, flex forwards, point back. So not too far, I went too far on that first one, and point back. Now as you point back, you are squeezing your glute, flex forwards, and point back. Flex forwards and point back. Let's try it here. Slow it down though. Flex forwards and point back. You might have to go a bit smaller. Flex forwards and point back. Much harder. Flex forwards and point back. Flex forwards and point back. Last one. Flex forwards and point back. Come to center, relax that foot down. Bring your hand back in front of you. So we're now going to do a semicircle. Bring the leg up, just have an extended leg. You don't need to come into flexion. We go forwards, up and over, back. You don't need to touch the floor. Forwards, up and over, back. But you want to go low. So as you go back, notice my foot drops behind me, okay? Forwards and back. Forwards and back. So drawing a semicircle or a little hill over my bottom leg. Now your bottom leg needs to be long and active, okay? Bottom leg is long and active. Good. And forwards and back. Let's try here. forwards, up and over back. Forwards, up and over back. Now careful that the upper body now doesn't rock like this, okay, because that makes it much easier. Elbows stretch to the ceiling, try to keep the body still. Forward, semicircle, back. Forward, semicircle, back. Good. Forward, semicircle, back. Last one. Forward, semicircle, back. Come into center. Let's just soften those knees, have a rest and bring that hand down for a second. Roll that top shoulder. So we're now going to come into a diagonal extension and we're going to lift and pulse that top leg. So extend the legs away. Lovely. Take your top arm up towards the ceiling first. Lift the leg up in line with the hips. Now stretch that leg behind you. Turn so you're resting on your bottom, the lower rib cage. Stretch away and then lift up and up and up. Now the lift is from your glutes, not from your back. Lift up. Stretch your bottom leg away as well. Lift and lift. Lift and lift. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1 and rest. Come all the way back up. Bring that hand down for me. Soften your knees. Have a little rest. Good stuff. Well done. Really good. Now bring your top knee forwards onto the floor and lengthen your bottom leg. So it's going to work a little bit of the reverse inside thigh. Keep your hand in front of you here, shoulder blade into your back, bottom leg lift and pulse and pulse. So you're now pulling up from your inside thigh of your bottom leg. Good. Knees should be roughly in line with the hip. Good. Reach that bottom leg away and squeeze. Pulse and pulse. Good. Pulse and pulse. Good. Try with the flex foot. Get that length much harder with the flex foot. Pulse and pulse. Pulse and pulse. Good. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1 and relax it down. Take that top leg up, bring it behind you, grab hold of your foot, push your hips forwards and pull back through your shoulder. If you're feeling a bit wibbly, you can bend that bottom leg a little bit if you need to. Nice little pull back. Good. Good. And then release. Okay, we'll do the other side of that lot in a little while. Let's turn over onto our tummies. We're going to extend our arms long and extend your legs long. Arms shoulder width apart, legs hip width apart, okay? And then bring your nose just over your mat so that your head is in line with your spine. Okay, we're going to start with a chest lift. Take a breath in. Breathing out, lift the chest up, lift the elbows up, elbows down, chest down. Lifting up through the spine, elbows float off the floor if you can, elbows down and chest down. And again, lift that spine up. Careful not to lift the chin. We want that here. And then come down. Lovely. One more. Lifting up, and we're going to hold. We're going to hold. Let's lengthen that right leg away. Let's lengthen the left arm away. And lift and lift. Squeeze and squeeze. Squeeze and squeeze. From your bottom, not from your knee. And lift and lift. Lift and 4, 3, 2, 1 and float down. Lovely. Let's do the other side. Floating chest off, elbows off. Left leg lengthen, right arm floats and lift and lift. Good, keep your body square, so don't tilt to one side. Squeeze your bottom, lift and lift. Good, lift and lift. Excellent. Good, and 4, 3, 2, 1, and float down. Now this next one, let's shorten our levers, our arms, those levers. We're going to bring the hands in under, only because I'm not here with you when you're doing this, and I can't be sure that you're not putting too much strain in your back. So I am going to make it a little bit easier, okay? So one hand on top of the other, head down for me. Let's just try it with our hands on the floor. So lift your chest and float your head off your hands, elbows down, and lengthen both legs. Squeeze your bottom, both legs. Lift and lift. Lift and lift. Squeeze your bottom. Lift and lift. Lift and lift. So it's not in your back, although your back is stabilizing. It's from your bottom. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Lovely. Now we're going to do one more set of that. For those of you who feel you can, we will float the arms as well. If you think that is too much for your back, please don't. We'll just do the leg just like we did before. And then just float the upper body. So when you're ready, take a breath in. Okay, brace that core, lengthen the legs and float the head. And with the body, lift and lift. Lift and lift. A bit more back now. If this is too much, bring up your hands down, just the legs. Lift and lift. Lift and squeeze. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and lower down. And rest it there, guys. Well done. Okay, let's bring those hands under the shoulders. Gently press up into a nice child's pose stretch now for me. Pull your bum back towards your feet. Have a nice stretch here. Great. Good. Lovely. And then uncurl. Fantastic. Okay. Come back onto the centre of your mat. Let's bring your hands underneath the shoulders and your knees underneath your hips for a second. Okay, so think about rolling into cat, dropping down into cow. So roll up into your cat stretch, gently press into the floor, chin to chest. Come into neutral, and then drop the lower back, lift the bottom to the ceiling, and come into neutral. And again, rolling up into that back, and neutral, dropping lower back down, bottom to the ceiling, and neutral. One more, rolling into the back, and neutral. Make sure you breathe, and then lowering that down, and then into neutral. Now, think about, we're going to draw a circle with your upper body. So we're going to drop down, roll into left shoulder, across the top of the shoulders to the right, and then drop down. Can we have a go at that? So can you see how I roll from one shoulder to the other, drop down, stick my bottom to the ceiling? Have a little go. So rolling into that upper back, dropping down through the lower back. So I roll from one shoulder up and across, and then dip down. Up into the shoulder, across the back, and then dip down. Up into the shoulder, across the back, and dip down. Or you can freestyle, I don't mind. Just get that spine moving. 3, good, 2, lovely, 1, and rest. Have a little roll. Don't worry if you didn't get that one right. It's quite hard to do. Quite coordinated, actually. Okay, so let's come down now onto our other side. So elbow underneath the shoulder, knees soft, feet in line with your bottom.
The shoulder position is quite important, and I say this when I'm teaching online, because obviously I can't see you. A lot of people, I find, are here. So their elbow is tucked underneath them, and this puts the shoulder under a lot of strain. So do make sure it's squarely underneath your shoulder, okay? Knees soft, feet in line with your bottom, stretch your arm up into the air. Are we ready to do your thread the needle? So lift your hips up into the air, push your hips forwards. Now thread your knee under, look over your shoulder, coming all the way up nice and strong, and then kiss the floor with the hips and push up. And again, all the way under, look over your shoulder, come all the way up nice and strong, and then kiss the floor and push up. 2 more. All the way around, look over your shoulder, coming all the way up and stretch. Kiss the floor with your hips and push up. Last one. All the way around, look over your shoulder, stretch that arm through, coming all the way up. Kiss the hips and push up, last one, and then come all the way down. Good, split the knees, come up, stretch the arm around the body. Good. Lovely. Okay, let's now come all the way down for me onto your side. Good. Now for those of you who find this arm extension may be too much, just a little thought, just for all classes actually, you can bring the arm forward and then have something there underneath your head just to support the weight of your head, so a cushion or something like that if you need to. If you find that too much for your shoulder, just let me know. So head down here, hand in front, but we're aiming to get here. Okay, so we start here, both legs long and active, bottom one as well. Coming up in line, in flexion, flexing forwards, pointing back. Flexing forwards, pointing back. So as we flex forwards, we need a bit more core. As we point back, it's a bit more bottom, yeah? Flexing forwards, pointing back. Now you can stay here with the hand here if you want to. If not, hand comes back, just watch. You might have to go a bit smaller. Flexing forwards, pointing back. You can see I need to, especially when I come forwards. Flexing forwards, pointing back, reaching that elbow up to the ceiling. Woo. And again, flexing forwards, pointing back, squeeze that bottom, flexing forwards, good. Keep those hips stacked. And again, flex and point, last one, flex and point. Rest the legs down, bring that hand down. Good, well done. Okay, so now we're going to draw our semicircle. Take the leg up. We come forwards, up and over, behind. Forwards, up and over, behind. You don't need to touch the floor. But what I want you to do is draw that little semicircle over your bottom leg and behind. Good stuff. Forwards and behind. Forwards, let's try here, shall we? Forwards and behind, keep that elbow stretched up. Minimum movement through your torso for me if you can. Oops. And forwards and behind. Forwards and behind, good, keep it going. If that's too much with your hand behind the head, bring your hand in front of you. Focus on that bottom leg, nice and long and active. Squeeze that bottom as it goes behind and a bit deeper through the core as we come forwards. Good. And forwards and behind. Forwards and behind. Last one. Forwards and behind. And rest. Bring that arm down and have a little roll through that shoulder for me. Now we're going to do that nice diagonal stretch and pulse. Take the arm up into the air, lift the leg. Now come forwards, roll through the chest. You just can feel the ribs, those bottom ribs on the floor. Stretch that leg away and lift, up and up. Squeeze and squeeze, stretch the top arm away. Squeeze and squeeze, good. Squeeze and squeeze, good. Really working into that glute. Belly button to the spine, good. 4 and 3, double pulses, and 2 and 1, and relax, bring that down. Lovely, take that top knee forwards for me, so knee in line with your hip. Bottom leg lift up, hand here, and then pulse and pulse. So pulling up through your inside thigh of your bottom leg, stretching it away. So stretch away and lift. Engage that core. Good. Try flex the foot again. A bit harder with the flex foot. So work out through that heel. Pulse and pulse. Lovely. Keep it going. And 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Good, take that leg behind you, grab hold of that foot, pull the foot towards the bottom and push your hips forwards. Again, if you need to bend the underside leg for stability, you can do that here if you need to. Go on, push those hips forwards, feel that stretch in the top of your thigh, and you should, if you pull your elbow and shoulder back, a nice stretch in the front of your chest. That's lovely. Good, and then release it off. Okay guys, let's roll over onto our backs. There are a few stretches here before we finish and come up into a seated position. Let's move those notes away now. Okay, arms out to the side with your palms facing the ceiling and your shoulders nice and relaxed for me. Cross your right leg over your left leg like a lady. So no gaps between your thighs, so we're not out like this. So all the way over, good. And knees are going to fall to the left and your chin is going to the right. Good, stretch that over as far as we can go. Now ideally I'd like your right shoulder blade to stay on the floor, but if your rotation isn't brilliant, it may pop off, and I'm not too worried about that. So stretch that over as far as it will go. Good. Brace the core and lift the knees back to centre. Take your right leg up into the air, hold behind the back of the leg and gently pull it in towards you. Try to keep that leg straight. That's nice, get that nice stretch in your hamstring. Now flex your foot, pull your toe down, ouchie ouch. Now when you're doing your hamstring stretches, it's really easy to pull in here and see my bottom comes off. Now your actual buttock will be off, but the back of your pelvis needs to be pushed nice and firmly into the floor as you pull towards you. So avoid this happening. Push down through the back of the pelvis as you pull in to get a nice good stretch. That's nice. Now take your right heel on your left knee. Place your hand just on the inside of your thigh, not on the knee, on the inside of the thigh, and gently push away and release. Gently push away and release. One more. And gently push away and release. Good. Keeping that position, we're doing quite a lot of glute today, lots of pulsing. Engage that core for me, lift the leg up into tabletop, hold the top shin. Don't do all this lacing through because you get yourself in a right old knot. So hold that top leg, drive that leg in towards you. Get this nice stretch in here. Hold that stretch. Keep your left leg parallel to the ceiling, because actually that is less of a stretch. That's a bit more of a stretch. You have a go. It does work. Good. And then release that off. Okay. Arms out to the side. Left leg over right leg like a lady. Knees to the right, chin to the left. Push those legs over. Get that great stretch in your glutes. That's nice, reset your left one. And breathe. It's quite nice in your thoracic spine as well. And brace the core and lift those legs back to centre. Take the left leg up into the air, hold behind the back of the leg, pull it in, and think about pushing the back of your pelvis down into your mat for me. Hold that stretch. That's good. Now flex the foot, toe down, push the heel away. You might find that you have to release it a little bit when you're in flexion because your calf may not agree with you. That's good. And then release. Bring that heel onto the knee and then have your hand just on the inside of your thigh and push away. Try not to let the pelvis rotate as you do that, and then release it back. And push away and release it back. And one more, push away and release it back. Good, keep that heel on the knee for me. Lift the right leg into tabletop, hold the top of the leg, drive that knee in towards you. Keep your shin parallel to the ceiling. But again, get that stretch in the other glute. That's lovely. Good. And then relax it down. Now, for those of you who can do a roll up, if you've never tried a roll up before, I suggest you just turn onto your side and just bring yourself up into a sitting position. For those of you who can do roll ups, let's get you into turn out. So heels together, knees turned out to the side, arms over. Breath in, arms over, ribs down, squeeze those inside thighs and gently roll yourself up. And then turn and face me. Well done, guys. Let's come and have you seated however you're most comfortable. So legs crossed, legs in front of you, however you want to be, as long as your spine is tall. Let's have another roll for your shoulders for me. That's good. Good, so either hands on your knees, or if you're here, hands on the backs of your legs. Tuck and roll back and hang off your legs. Let your chin hang down towards your chest. And then elbows soft, roll up, push that chest forwards again, lift the chin. And then repeat, tucking under and hanging off of those legs. And then rolling forwards, chest forwards, and lift the chin and release. Let's breathe in and out. And again, in and out. Last one, in through the nose. And out. And relax. Well done, guys. Give yourself a little clap.